All right, here's the next one. This is interesting. It says Barstool versus Disco. You got the clip, Joe?
I do.
Those are the guys you listen to, right?
Oh, this is from Joe. Joe
Yeah.
actually submitting this.
Yeah, well, this guy Chester sent it to me, so I was like, all right, let me put it
Okay.
to the side, and I remembered that we were gonna watch it, so I remember some things.
All right.
All right, so you just want me to play it?
Yeah, I don't know who these guys are.
Okay.
Bad that I don't know it, but
Yeah.
yeah, yes.
Like they're not going to just like have him do like
what are
throw
those
it.
fucking guys? WWE Dancing Fools.
Dancing Fools.
Oh my! That was actually the name of Disco Inferno and Alex Wright's tag team in WCW, the Dancing Fools.
What?
Yeah,
I don't remember that.
Disco
I wasn't
Inferno,
at WC.
by the way. That's just a random thought I had.
You meet him?
No, just on Twitter. I read his takes sometimes, and I'm like, this guy's. He likes to like tell people how to wrestle. It's like, Brady, Disco Inferno. Shut up.
Yeah. What's his name in real life?
Disco Inferno.
Yeah.
I don't even
Is his
know.
handle Disco Inferno or does he go by whatever?
Yeah, it's like the bad that I don't.
I thought Robbie was your boy. What's up?
Who
with
is
that?
Robbie?
Robbie at Barstool. I thought that was the guy. Yeah, that's the guy that you speak to.
What's his last name? Robbie
I
what?
do? No,
Robbie
that's not
Fox.
him.
Oh,
No, I
Robbie
thought
what?
that the Brandon Walker guy was the guy
oh,
that
okay.
I
All right.
communicated
I
with.
got
Yeah.
all right. I got confused because he said he.
I don't know who that
he-
is. I don't know who Robbie
He
Fox
Okay.
interacted
is.
with you on
First of
Twitter or
all,
whatever.
First of
Okay.
all, you said the guy's name. I see you're putting it up here. Robbie Fox. That's his name.
Yeah, at Robbie
Who?
Barstool.
Who's that? Well,
I
no,
don't
I'm
know who he
serious.
is.
Who is that?
It's a Barstool guy. The Barstool
Barstool
sports
guy.
I don't really know a lot
A
of these guys.
Barstool guy. Where'd he come from? Did he used to work at Sports Illustrated? Did he used to work in WWE? Was he before you took over in Vegas? What do you know any background on him, Joe?
No, it looks like he's just
Just a fan?
fan, an observer, if you will.
All right.
And his
So the
podcast.
who?
Did you see the podcast name, Conan? You'll like that.
What
What's
is
the
it?
podcast called?
My mom's basement.
All right. That is funny. But who's
Yeah.
the other guy?
I don't know, and it didn't list him.
All right. So here's the thing, man. At the end of the day, I don't want to throw shade on anybody. They might be cool guys, but another two guys that are fans that have never been in the business, bro. If you can't tell that Disco was a good worker, then you don't know about the business. I think people try to correlate that he was goofy with, oh, he must be goofy in real life. Well, yeah, he was playing kind of a goofy character, funny, uh, lighthearted, party guy. You know what I'm saying? But just two fans with an opinion, bro. We could name 100 guys like that.
That's Robbie Fox.
All right. So let's go to. I have no. I'm
Still
just
don't
going
know who
to
that
condemn his show. I hereby condemn his show.
Skinny White Boy
for those comments.
podcaster.
I hope everybody would condemn his comments. He called me.
Yeah, it was rude.
He did?
Very-
I didn't even hear that part.
You didn't
Unsolicited.
hear it?
Yeah.
Next is from John Roddy. Somebody says, how could Tony Khan have messed up this badly? Do you think that Tony Khan is even slightly aware of how badly he has up everything by keeping the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, and Adam Page around instead of CM Punk? It's been proven over and over that not only did those elite guys not draw ratings, no one is buying tickets, and even Meltzer, of all people, is reporting that their merch sales have dropped by a large margin. While CM Punk walked slightly out to a WWE stage and the internet went insane. Do you think that Tony Khan may finally be adult enough to understand the big-time changes need to be made with AEW? You guys can talk about MJF being the best thing on the roster all you want, but no one gives a about him. You might, but the fans don't. AEW has 0 draws. 0. I would disagree with that. I still think some of those guys draw. They don't draw big numbers, but they draw numbers where you can measure, like on a weekly basis. I think Cage does decent numbers for his segments.
Omega.
Does he?
Jericho. Yeah, Kenny's matches usually don't. You know how they have that dip. Kenny's matches usually stay along par.
What's that sound?
Go ahead. That was me.
Oh, okay.
Well, let me just say this. Did he say something about MJF not
Yeah,
being
he's
all
not.
that or something like that,
He's not
bro?
drawing. He's not drawing numbers, is what they're saying.
Yeah. Said
No. He
no
said,
one gives an about him, and AEW has 0 draws.
okay, how could you say that nobody gives a about him when literally the whole place is chanting his name when he comes out? Any catchphrase he does, anything he does, you're just a hater if you're saying that, or you
Yeah.
don't know what you're talking about, you know.
Right. I agree.
So let me just say this. What's this guy's name?
His name was John Roddy.
John Roddy.
John Roddy.
John Roddy. Let me just say this, John. I've stated and never wavered from my position that it should have never been a them or I situation. Okay? A strong leader would have said, hey, I have you all under contract. I can freeze your pay for not abiding the company bylaws or just job you out for a while, WWE style, or not feature you. And you have to work together with who's down. In the meantime, you keep them separate. So it shouldn't have been a them or I. You know what I'm saying? Because you give too much power to the guy that stays. I've experienced that. This is from experience. And he had to let him go because he's saying something about, whoa, doesn't he feel stupid? Or let's CM Punk, or what did he say about CM Punk letting him go?
Yeah, letting him go instead of the other guys, the elite guys.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, he had to let him go. He undermined his authority. He circumvented him, including the infamous press conference while he was eating cupcakes, which bonus points for that. Okay. But Tony had probably never faced anything like that before. I doubt he faced it in football because that's not his role, but he probably heard about it with his dad. But he's facing this problem with this guy with an alpha male, big, and he probably didn't know what to do and asked other people. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that he probably went in there thinking, oh, this is going to be great. I'm going to be able to book and do what I want and buy whoever I want. And you forgot about the backstage politics and all the petulant, emotional, radical egos that there are in the dressing room.
And something that either you guys might not be aware, it's something, Conan, that maybe you knew but never said on the show. What happened with Punk was they had to hand it over to this disciplinary committee in AEW, which included, their head counsel, and it also included Bryan Danielson. Bryan Danielson headed the disciplinary committee that decided Punk's got to go, and he still heads it now, handing out fines for any kind of issues. So that was news to me.
All right.
Next is from Long Grande Wang. Subject is too good. I thought the Rhea Ripley versus Zoe Stark Survivor Series was a great match, but I have to ask you, has WWE done too good of a job with the Rhea Ripley push? I mean, she's a very talented wrestler, can work her crowd, and is good on the mic. People are really into her. But has WWE made her so popular that there's no one who can be booked to beat her and not get booed? Interesting. Right now, I feel like WWE have run out of opponents for Rhea. Even if they book someone like Becky Lynch to beat her for the title, I'm going to guess that Becky Lynch would also get booed. I would love to know what you guys think. They're worried about her getting booed, getting the person beating her getting booed,
or that she's running out of competition. First of all, of course, they applaud her. She's the coolest chick that's been really on there since China, or maybe even when Becky was getting big. She's kind of a leader of an all-male faction. Because even if you saw Raw, and we'll get into Raw when we review it, did you see when when Damian Priest came in there and they were talking and it was just him, her, and Mysterio, and they did a close-up of her kind of looking at him. She's got something up her sleeve, and Dominic is like didn't even know what was going on. So obviously there's going to be something between them two. And bro, like I said, I watch NXT. There's a lot of girls there that are ready to come here, so she'll have people to wrestle with. And she never wrestled with Raquel Rodriguez, which in NXT they had good matches. So it could be Jade Cargill. There'll be people for her, believe me.
And I know what Disco's answer would be here. I thought I heard
But what
something.
if they?
I know what Disco's answer would be to this. What do you think about Sasha coming in and setting up that feud? Because the rumors now is that that's who Hunter's going to get next to come back is Sasha.
I don't care.
I know. That's what I said. Or I thought you were going to
I
say
just
she's
don't
too
really
small.
care, you know?
Yeah.
No, I just don't care.
Yeah.
Next is from Tan Sim. Subject is old man Glenn. What's up, K100 crew?
Perfect timing.
What has happened, Disco? You were the back in my day, mad at everything old guy. Is your daytime job getting to you with all the Karens and sensitive Nancy's at the club? Or is it your know-it-all ego? Or is it your know-it-all ego is mad that no one listens to you these days in wrestling? You cling on to 23 years ago, ignoring times have changed and time has passed you by, Glenn. Wrestling world, entertainment TV, and the world isn't the same as it was back in your day. All
Well,
right.
gee, thanks for the intel.
Yeah. Let's suspend this guy forever for coming on just
Wait a
Sim.
minute. Wait a minute.
Yeah, Tan
Wow.
Sims.
I
first and
think there's
last
only
email.
been two guys suspended
Right,
forever.
suspended forever. Yeah. What do you think about that? And when people say
Well,
that I'm
not
being
even the
insensitive,
Barstool guys got suspended forever.
right? I'm suspending this guy forever, and that shows you what I thought of the email. So the
Okay,
people
you know
that I say
what?
that I am a
You know what?
Am I being
I
a,
want.
am I being a Karen?
Yeah.
Or
Can I use my frequent fire mouse for an upgrade on the suspensions for a minute? Disco.
Sure.
I want to upgrade Joe's suspension, the one we were going to give him for a week, to a permanent
For
suspension.
winning a bet?
For he does no. For showing up to the show late. I said if you showed up to the show late again, or we had to look for you and call you and call your dad and call everybody and we still couldn't
Smoke
get
signals.
you. If that happens again, let's permanently suspend him just because he just produces a show. Would you like that?
I like that.
I hate that. I've done all this work into becoming a personality for the show, and it's going to be for nothing.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Next
Now,
is from-
let me.
late.
Normally, Conan, I wouldn't try to pat myself on the back or anything, but
No, you would never do
regarding-
that. Why? You've never done that in the past.
regarding my lateness last week, I sent apology gifts to you guys. Now, Discos hasn't arrived yet, but Conan, you did receive an apology gift from me. If that gives me any leeway.
That's right. I thank you. That's not okay. Let me just say this. So this guy sent me, and I do appreciate it, a Stephen King memoir. I'm sorry, I forgot to call you on this.
No, that's cool. Yeah, it's better.
This is what it's called: a memoir of the craft on writing. Okay, which I can take it one of two ways. He's sending it to me to help me, or he thinks my writing is okay. And I will say, with that present, that is in no way in lieu of a Christmas or birthday present, which both are coming up. And this is not an expensive enough gift to get you to reduce any of your heat.
That's true.
So-
And it was a November pre-Black Friday sale too, so I'll admit that.
Don't bury yourself.
We're taking forever. This email, this mailbag is going at a snail's pace, by the way.
Yeah.
Next is from Hank Beam. He said his favorite gimmick that never got over. This is interesting. Hey guys, what is a favorite gimmick that you saw that never got over? Mine is Jimmy Wang Yang, the redneck Asian. His vignettes were fire. That's from Handsome Hank. P.S. Why did my question about Disco's last match not get read? It did get read. It went to the mailbag, on the Patreon.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Right.
You want to watch Jimmy here for 25 seconds?
Sure.
Why does
This was funny.
everybody think Asians all smart and mad and stuff like that? Matter of fact, when I was in school, they said the Asians set the curve. Jimmy Wang Yang passed with straight thieves. Matter of fact, only curves I know is from my old lady. Woo, woo.
What'd you think of that, Conan?
I just thought that was a funny character because just the
Right.
Asian guy speaking country, just
Right.
that was funny to me.
Is that like a thing? Did he do that like as a joke backstage or
He
something?
did have a redneck accent.
He did. He messed around. Yeah. That
He
makes
has
sense.
southern accent. Next is from Eddie Hogan. So just stay away from the titles. Hey K100, CM Punk returned to Survivor Series, so I'm as good at breaking news on the show as Billy Body was. When do I start my weekly segment? Everyone on Earth can see the planned WWE are moving towards CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. Barring any injuries, I think they'll tear down the house shows. They'll tear the house down, and storyline build towards it will be incredible weekly television. My question is, does it really need to be for the title? CM Punk right now is a bigger deal than he has been in 5 years, or in a bigger deal than he has been in years and years. Punk versus Rollins is a huge match, so why waste the title being on the line? Why waste the title being on the line? Do you guys think the CM Punk being put into the title scene could cause a backlash and undo all of this goodwill? No. What are you talking about? The fact that Seth has the title makes the feud even better.
Yeah.
You got more stuff more things involved that you can
And
talk
remember,
about.
his big point, one of his big points of contention back in the day when he left, which amazingly is almost 10 years, is he wanted to main event WrestleMania. So there you go. Rollins Punk title, main event on one of the nights in Philly. Boom.
Right.
You know?
Let's talk about Punk for a minute. So it was pretty funny. You know, we did like a month ago, not even a month, maybe three weeks a month ago. We did a video where, you know, like everybody that listens to the show knows that I made that bet with Joe a while back. But obviously, like a lot of things have changed going forward. You know, with Vince McMahon not being involved in creative anymore, and the Endeavor, the company being sold and stuff, and
Yeah.
and I basically had changed my opinion. But we did a clip, YouTube clip this up now. That when we remember Conan, when we were talking about how Meltzer and the Dirt Sheet guys were reporting, and this was the funny thing. All these guys were reporting that Punk wasn't going to show up.
Yeah.
Right, everybody was.
That just made me more certain.
Because we were pretty certain that the WWE, their sources were feeding these guys false information because the buzz about Punk was too much. It's exactly what happened. You know?
And remember,
they got fed false info. Go ahead.
When Eric was on the show, we asked him about that, and he agreed too that probably it's just misdirection, which it was.
Right. Complete misdirection. You got a comment on that, Conan?
Yeah, I always said from the beginning, I thought Punk's gonna be back, and then I just thought, bro, I'm thinking as a promoter, I was like, it's too enticing not to bring him back at Chicago. The Star Zone always line up like that, and that would be a hell of an entrance. They're gonna do it. They're gonna sit him down. They're gonna talk to him. I know for a fact that before the show, he went into different rooms and talked to different wrestlers. I think he wanted to make sure everything was smooth and everybody was cool with him, and probably to apologize to some people or whatever he did. You know.
Right. That's interesting. What did you think about the way they did it?
Perfect.
Which
they didn't
part?
really do you. Here's the interesting thing, right? It's like they
Mondays or the Survivor Series.
No, the Survivor Series. Okay, so he came back at the end of the show, right?
Yeah.
And he didn't do anything. He just walked out and he had his, the white T-shirt on, which I'm not a fan of.
Awesome
What's the deal with that? What's the deal with that haircut he has?
Yeah, look, I mean, that's something. When he was on AEW, he let himself get gray. His teeth were a little discolored, if you will, as people have pointed out. WWE comes in dye job, whitened teeth, Because
you're in the big time, bro. If you don't look good, you're gonna stick out. Even though he doesn't wear suits, because that's not his MO. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he even looked in better shape.
He's the counterculture guy.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so next.
Well, what were you saying, Di, about how they brought him in? You were about to talk about it. That at the end.
Oh yeah. Well, okay. I thought it was very clever because the whole thing is like, these aren't pay-per-views anymore. That's one thing that people got to be clear about is that because you weren't selling Punk. Because you would have had to, if they were still doing pay-per-views, you would want to, advertise Punk is coming back to sell the pay-per-view, right? But now they're not pay-per-views anymore; they're just shows, they're premium live events on the streaming network, right? So they brought him back at the end of the show, did a couple things that went viral, like they talked about, Drew McIntyre left the building in a hurry. They showed Seth Rollins cussing him out. Everything and let that fester on social media for a day or two, and then you bring him out on Raw. So it's like there's good buzz, right? And you're when people are waiting to see what he's going to do, like next. So I thought that was very clever the way they did that, where he came out and did nothing, except for Seth Rollins getting stuff, and they sold that for like 2 days. So I thought it was clever. I'd like to see what number they do. We're not going to get the number for Raw today. I think it's backed up a day.
What was Monday's
week.
game?
Yeah.
What was Monday's game? Because I was sleeping.
Chicago, Minnesota.
How was it?
Terrible game. Like no
All right.
offense. It was
So they should have gotten good numbers.
Yeah, they
They
should.
said, here's a couple of news bits on it. The comeback moment got more than 71 million views, the biggest social post in WWE history. The previous record was Logan Paul and Ricochet off the ropes, 40 million. But Punk got 71, and that's about it. There's a Sports Illustrated story out on it I haven't read yet, though, by Justin Barrasso.